105.5, Bolton's radio station for great music and local information. There's Kenny Loggins and I'm All Right. It's 17 minutes after 1 o'clock on this Wednesday afternoon, the 5th of August, and we have some special guests in the studio here with us this afternoon. First of all, I'd like to welcome Mr. Dave Eccleston from the Rock and the Stone Sports Show, normally heard here on Saturday mornings. You're making a special guest appearance today.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Rick. We have a really special guest today, and we really wanted to put this on live today. We're going to rebroadcast this on Saturday on the normal Rock and the Stone Sports Show, but I'm speaking of Frankie Rocco, of course. No, I'm just kidding. Frankie, you're with us also today for a change, eh, buddy?
I am, Dave, I am.
Good.
It's a special occasion.
It really is, and we're joined by our honorary guest and our hero in town here, Jade Scognamillo. And Jade, thanks for coming in today. A really amazing feat that you performed this past week, and also joined by your parents that are here, Jane and Tony also, and great to have everybody in studio that was involved with. If you haven't heard, you must have been living under a rock, but Jade this past week swam 52 kilometers across Lake Ontario, and really an incredible feat of not only bravery and just athleticism, but just the ability to swim for 20 hours is, I don't even think I get through 3 lengths in the pool and I'm going to the bottom. So it's really just an incredible feat. And Jade, you're so laid back about the whole thing, but really it's incredible what you pulled off. And just wanted to bring you in studio and talk to you live after the fact about what happened this past week, and just some of your thoughts and feelings about before you went in the water, after you went in the water, and we're going to have some special things for you, and I wanted to sort of honor you as just an amazing athlete in our town and in Canada. As we know, July 1st was a special day for you also, as you became an official Canadian. How did that feel, first of all?
Well, that was pretty cool because last year when I swam Lake Erie, they put me down as a British citizen or whatever, but I kind of made me a little bit mad, only because I raised all this money for Canada and I swam for Canada. So I got a grant of citizenship, which means that I could swim Lake Ontario as a Canadian. So that was cool, so I could represent Canada. Absolutely,
and I know Jane and Tony, you behind the scenes were involved in this beyond belief, not only as parents, but as people wanting to help sick kids and wanting to help the cause of getting your daughter across the lake. And it was no easy task, as we'll talk about during the show, but really this went on and on for a long time, not only with Jade's training and your ability to get her to all these things in between living your normal life, but the ability to just get her ready for it mentally and physically. And then you had unlimited weather problems, just trying to get her time slot to sort of get her out in the lake when it wasn't minus 20 and it wasn't raining or snowing out there. And then you had some equipment problems trying to get things going. Tell us a little bit about the struggles of just trying to get this thing off the ground to actually get her in a lake and get her swimming. Yeah, a lot of weather problems, and you also ran into last minute equipment problems. Tell us a little bit about that, Jane.
Yeah, well, we knew that we were going to have problems with boats again this year, because last year was a nightmare as well for Lake Erie. The worst thing is getting the inflatables. You'd think that most people would have an inflatable, or lots of people would have them, but it's not that easy to get the right size with the right size motor. And Solo Swims have a 56-page document full of rules and regulations that we have to adhere to ensure Jade's safety as she swims across. So trying to tick off that list of requirements, it's a good 6 months worth of planning, and I'm not talking about just a couple of hours a day. I'm talking about
a full-time job.
I gave up my job to do this, so
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's not easy to do.
And then Tony, we ran into problems trying to get a motor for one of the boats, and then you were lucky enough that a lot of people stepped up to the plate. Tell us a little bit about how that came about and who stepped up to the plate. Let's throw the names out there, because I think that's really important too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, these people just were absolutely phenomenal. The week before the actual swim was due, unfortunately we lost the motor that we had on the inflatable that was due next to Jade. We scouted around and we came on the show and we asked if anybody was interested, and fortunately we got hold of Bass Pro up in Vaughan, and they kindly donated a brand new Mercury engine for us, which is the one we actually used for the swim. Also with the inflatable, I mean, although we could have rented one, City Marine downtown actually offered us a brand new boat, which meant the money that we were going to have to spend to rent it can go straight to sick kids. So both those people, Tom Fulton and Dave Sullivan, absolutely fantastic, and we really, really appreciate what they did for us.
Yeah, let's applaud those people, because without those donations, obviously it would have been really difficult to get Jade in the water, and with such a small time frame that she really had, because even the next couple of days after that weren't fantastic. So that little 48-hour window was really, that was really her shot at getting across the lake, and all those things sort of coming together was really spectacular. And we know what the end result was. But let's start to talk a little bit about leading up to it, Jade. How did you start to feel knowing that this looks like it was going to be your time? We knew you were anxious. We'd heard and read, you were really anxious to get in the water. Tell us a little bit about what, now you know you're going to go, what are your emotions start leading up to it? Are you just excited to get in there? Or you just want to get it over with, win or lose? You just want to get out there and get started?
Well, I've been waiting around because we were always sitting on the edge because we never knew when we were going to go. So having waiting there, because I was in a hotel room, and just sitting there knowing, actually I'm going to do this, there's no weather problems, nothing, we're going to go now, is kind of thinking this is it. I've been training for a couple of years now, and it's all kind of, I was very laid back about it because I tried not to think about it too much because I knew that I'd start freaking out. But I have to say that once I got out of the car to actually step into the lake, it kind of hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to do this. So yeah, I was a little scared, but I was excited to actually just go and get it over with, I guess.
Right.
But I was excited to just get in there and swim because I know I had a good team behind me, so I knew that I'd be safe across. So it's a good thing that I trusted my team and things like that. So yeah, I was so excited, and it's really hard to put it into words, but no, it was amazing.
Hey, Jade, Frankie here. I'd like to ask you a question. When you first started, I was reading up on a little news thing that they had on you, and they said that as soon as you started, you wanted to give up right away because you didn't know how you were going to make it to the end. How did you feel at that point?
Well, okay, so in the first 3 hours, I threw up a couple of times, which wasn't very nice, and it's not that I wanted to give up, it was just that I was kind of doubting myself a little bit because I was thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this for the next 17 hours? It's hard because I'm in the middle of the night, it's cold, I'm already being sick, and my legs and things are already starting to hurt on my body. And it's hard to think that I'm going to have to suffer through this for the next 16 hours, only knowing that it's going to get worse. But thankfully, I didn't throw up any other time, so I think I was just a little bit nervous and just, I think it was just my stomach, I was so tense and just to finally get in there. So, but no, after that, I was fine.
Well, good. We're glad that you finished it.
Yeah, it's spectacular. And knowing that you did Lake Erie, I'm sure was a bit of a benefit to you, because you had a lot in the tank from that 3 hours on, because you'd already done Lake Erie, and you really smashed that record. It was 15 kilometers, I believe, right? 19.2, and you did it in record, was it 8 hours?
5 hours 40.
5:40. So you knew you had lots to go from that 3 hour point, and just the vomiting and stuff, maybe a little bit of nerves off the bat to get started. And once you got past that, you get into a bit of a rhythm. Now you get into the middle of the night, and you're starting to, how are you feeling? I know Jane sent a beautiful picture early hours of the morning of you swimming across the lake. The sun was coming up. But in the darkened night, I know you got the lights on the boat and people around you. But when you're in a full swim, water's going in and out of you, and you don't always hear, I'm sure you can hear people egging you on, but how are you feeling in the middle of the night? You're in the middle of Lake Ontario, far enough out where you're in between, both bodies of water. Are you just plugging away? Is it just repetition at this point, or what's your emotional side and physical side around that time?
Well, when you're swimming in the middle of the night, I don't like swimming at night anyways, but I have to say that I almost kind of switched off for a while and kind of got into a rhythm, and my aching muscles kind of just dulled down, and it was really nice because I went onto my back for a while and did a couple strokes, or a half an hour backstroke, and I saw 3 shooting stars, which was really cool. And I know that my coach she said she saw about 15, so it's really cool to be out there. It's all like a whole different place, if you like, and I think that once the sun started to come up, that was my turning point for me, because I thought, because during the night I was sort of doubting myself, thinking, oh my gosh, this is so far. But I've never been so happy to see the sun come up in my life. And yeah, it was definitely a turning point, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to finish this no matter what. So